machine of yours, how close can you get before the illusion's broken?
You're going on a journey. All you have to do is follow my voice.
Hugh, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your character, Nick?
Yeah. First, can I just say that's the coolest wallpaper I've seen. I've been doing
Thank you.
a lot of Zoom interviews. So I've seen a lot of walls. That's the best.
It's very bright.
You win.
Thank you.
Nostalgic. It's a bit like our movie, actually. I quite like it. Nick Bannister is a private investigator of the mind. He runs a business that has a reminiscence machine, which allows people to go back and literally relive memories, taste, smell, feel, everything. He's a returned veteran from war, a war hero, suffering PTSD, very closed off, classic noirish sort of Humphrey Bogart type character who early on in the movie becomes completely unraveled by falling in love. And then the love of his life disappears and he doesn't know what to do. So you think you're going down one track with this character and with this movie, and before you know it, you're winding around in different genres and all over the place. And I think that's what I loved about the character and what I loved about Lisa Joy's script.
And why do you think nostalgia is such a powerful thing?
Well, I think sometimes the present for people is almost too difficult to live in. I think it's something that is very relevant right now. I think it's been incredibly painful time, full of a lot of anxiety and frustration and isolation. And I think sometimes the idea of if you could go back, cherry pick your greatest hits of memories and live in those, it'd be super, super tempting. But of course, in life, unfortunately, you have to go through, the thorns. We have to do that in order to create new memories. But I think that's part of the thematics of this movie and what she's playing with, what Lisa's playing with.
And looking back on this project, is there a memory or a filming experience that will stand out for you as encapsulating Reminiscence?
Leigh, whenever I think back of films, I get asked that a lot. What's the highlight of the filming day? And there's certainly some things I've never done before, like some of that underwater work. But for me, it was that cast and Lisa. So to be on a set with like Tandaway Newton and Rebecca Ferguson, who I'd worked with before, and Lisa Joy and her team, a lot of whom were from Westworld, including her husband who produced it, Jonah Nolan, who I did Prestige with. Lisa had so much confidence in what she was doing. She really led in a very relaxed way. There was no yelling, no screaming. Everyone under a lot of pressure was, that's one thing I'll never forget. The reminiscence itself, those memories that come up in the machine, was real. Like she had to found a way with a cinematographer to create that for real on set. So it was one of the most beautiful sets I'd ever been on. And as an actor, I got to really interact with it rather than a tennis ball on a stick.
Speaking of the water, it's so prominent in the movie.
Yeah.
How tricky was it filming the fight scenes and the stunts with Cliff in the water?
That long action sequence, which took us a long time to shoot, from water down to the basement, down into the very basement, with the piano falling down, the chandelier, and the deep water work, was hugely sort of challenging and fun. I'm a completely spoiled Hollywood actor. Like we would go into these room fills. I'm looking around, it was like the size of like a gymnasium filled with water up to your waist, right? And it would be beautiful, like just like jacuzzi temperature. And I'm like, this is so nice. Like, did the whole crew pee in this before we came in here? Or I don't know how you achieved this. And they said, we just wanted you to feel comfortable. I was like, pretty sure we wouldn't get that in Australia.
Yeah.
So it was, in fact, I'm going over my time here. Sorry, Leigh, but there was a great moment I remember from Australia. There's a beautiful scene with Brandon comes out of the water in slow motion with the horse. He's on top of a horse, he comes out of a swamp. And so the actual track, the dolly track, came out of the water too. And Rocky was pushing at the grip. And when he came out of the water, he probably had 200 leeches on his legs, right? And the first AD, who was English, Simon, he goes, Rocky, your legs. He goes, yeah, I know. Let's wait to the end of the take. Just wait to the end of the take.
Oh, wow.
He said, that's what I love about Aussie crews. So I don't know, I went off left field there, Leigh. But we were well looked after. The only other thing I want to say about the water, there's a dreamlike quality to this whole movie, a sort of poetic quality. And there's some darkness to this movie. And I think what Lisa does beautifully is sort of take you to a world that is sort of seductively beautiful at times, even when the subject matter is dark. That was a very messy
Absolutely.
way of tying up a very long-winded answer. Sorry.
It was beautiful, Hugh. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.